film-related interviews, reviews and content, please like and subscribe to Pooja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
The movie is called दोनों, मगर मैं आप तीनों से पूछना चाहती हूँ आपको कैसा लग रहा है at the moment?
Wow, it still feels surreal actually. I couldn't have asked for anything better really. I'm so blessed that, you know, Surajji and Avnish have given me this chance, and I've grown up watching Rajshri films and I've loved all their films, and the fact that our film is coming out in a week, I'm pinching myself. I'm very excited and nervous at the same time.
What about you?
Well, some days you're nervous, some days you're excited. Today it's the excited day. Just like as Paloma said, jokes aside, it's a really a surreal feeling, you know, that I'm a part of this movie, part of Rajshri, that Suraj sir had faith in me, Avnish had faith in me, and I'm just so grateful and blessed.
What about you now? Because the baton has now been passed to you. So, I mean, I'm not trying to put any pressure, but I'm sure there's a lot of pressure.
No. I mean, you know, for years, just wanted to make a film. You know, that was the dream. And the fact that I've been able to live that dream, it's itself such an amazing feeling. Yeah, you know, to be here, to be sitting here, to see my name on a poster directed by, it's still sinking in. I mean, there's so much gratitude for this opportunity, and hopefully, you know, we've done justice to it.
Sir, what do you think is the challenge for the three of them at the moment? मैं कोई pressure नहीं डाल रही हूँ. No, but honestly, I would say Rajshri movies, you know, I'm sure you'll agree, they corrupted our mind with romance. It was a happily ever after. सब कुछ होता है, मगर सब कुछ फिर ठीक हो जाता है. But you know, honestly, now the baton is here. So, what do you really think is the challenge in front of the three of them?
I think the challenge for them is like any other newcomer would have. But I think if there is, they should relax because they have made what they believe in. I made Maine Pyar Kiya, and my instructions by my father was to make what you believe in. They have lived their age, they have played their age. When I was on their sets, I do not know whether they are acting or they are just being normal. हमारे टाइम पे ना एक्टिंग होती थी, हम लोग पुश करते थे, नहीं लगना चाहिए कि रो रही है, हंस रहा है. They were just being their age, and I was so happy because they have been grounded. They are grounded kids. So I believe they have made what they live, so there's nothing to worry. The nervousness is bound to happen. It should be to any creative person. I also feel the jitters every time, but I'm very happy and proud of Dhilon.
And you also know, Rajshri is the lucky charm. As you can well see, everyone's career, who made the debut with Rajshri, kahan pahunch gaye wo sab. So, but the thing is, I know it's an interesting premise, and also since, I have to mention, it's been written by a dear friend who's co-collaborated with you. It moves on from where usually the Rajshri movies end. Yes. You know, after they happily ever after. नहीं होता है बहुतों के लिए. So, but was that intentional to start with heartbreak and when these two characters meet the soulmate to you, and then I want to ask the two of you relating to your characters.
Absolutely. You know, when we were starting to work on Dono, this topic of closure really struck a chord with me because I felt that this is something that we haven't seen in Hindi films recently. Like you said, especially with all our epic love stories in Rajshri films, you always assume that when the hero and the heroine meet at the end, it's a happy life after. But so often love remains unrequited, so often love remains unsuccessful, it sours, and it's normal. That's in fact human nature, that's what happens. And I feel if this topic has been depicted in films before, it's gone different routes. You romanticize it sometimes, or you show how grief destroys a human being, you know, with Devdas, and or epic stories like Heer Ranjha. Not that I'm comparing this to them, but I'm saying that I just felt that this was a different take, which is probably the most organic, because you have to move on. And that process of moving on is so important because you can physically move on. I think people do that very easily. But emotionally moving on is also so important. Otherwise, the shadow of that previous relationship or that previous love will be cast upon your new relationship and you'll never really be able to move ahead. So that topic of closure really stuck with me. And I think that anyone who's watching the film will find something different being said with this one.
And what about the two of you? Did you draw from any personal experience? Because as one grows up, even teenage crushes are very overwhelming, yeah. So, but what was it like playing the two characters that you are? Could you relate to them at any level?
There are certain bridges between me and Dave, not fully, like 100%, but I think as an actor, you try to fit in every character you read, and I don't know whether that's selfish or a good thing, but every time I hear a story or read a book or see a movie, I always put myself in the character's shoe and vice versa. It's not, I'm straight off, I've never gone to an ex's wedding who I've been in love for 10 years. You never know. I'm still young. Yeah,
Never
you never
know. Don't tempt fate.
Don't ever say never. History will repeat art, I guess. But no, you do find connections. Dave's insecurities, his lack of feeling like he's not worthy, his wanting to make his own business, he feel like he's not good enough for his best friend. All these small things connect to me in a very deep way. And when Avnish read the thing, I felt like he was like sort of the anti-hero in a way. Because he's not a very confident guy. He's not a very loud, look at me. He's not. He's a very quiet, deep, emotional human being. So I found that a little different when the first time I heard the script from Avnish.
Oh, what about you?
So I play a character called Meghna, and she's a 25-year-old girl from Bombay. And she's very career-oriented, and she's working at a consulting firm. She's been in a relationship through her college, and she's broken up after that, after 6 years. So it's her journey. And one of the things that I was so excited about doing was I got to play so many different layers and different emotions in my first film. So I was just so excited about that. The way Avnish has written my character was so beautiful. It was so many complexities to it. So I couldn't have been happier to play such a role.
And also the fact that both your parents starred in the iconic Soni Mahiwal, which remains like the heartbreaking love story of all times. When you told both your parents, respectively, that you want to become an actor, reaction kya tha?
My parents had no clue actually that I wanted to become an actor. So it was a very new thing, I think, for them to kind of accept. I was in college and I told them that this is something I'm very serious about, and they were like, okay. And I convinced them about how serious I was. And of course, they always have supported me. In school, I've been lucky enough to go for national level handball and football because my parents have always encouraged me and my hobbies and my sports and all those things. So they were like, it's a hard line, you know, but your passion will take you forward. So, and I think it's a proud moment for my parents to see my first film coming out.
And Rajveer, you're the third generation. Or be pressure. So, I mean, your brother made his debut. Now there is you. Now your cousin is. So, like, acting comes with the Deols. There is no other.
I guess so. I have to meet God and ask him why. I never got a moment where I had a one-on-one conversation with my dad where I said I wanted to be an actor or anything like that. Even as a kid, I was doing theatre in school and I did a lot of workshops afterwards. I went abroad and did a course there also. So he always knew that I'm going to be stubborn no matter how much of the reality he shows me. I do want to go into the deep end and I want to see if I drown or I make it out. It's something I feel like I'll regret if I don't take a chance like that.
So, unlike your dad, you're not the 2.5 kilo ka hath.
No, I don't know.
You're more like your granddad, the romantic hero as well as the action.
I guess so.
Nice. So also you come from a time when I was just telling you, people watch Hum Aapke Hain Kaun 24-25 बारी बार. अब वो time नहीं रहा है. Do you think like for this new generation, you know, convincing audience, also storytelling like you're now saying, is far more tougher than it was when you meet मैंने प्यार किया?
हाँ, मतलब जब when I met मैंने प्यार किया, honestly that was a time when we used to put in 3 songs, 4 songs, 1 action होना चाहिए, and वो टाइम था जब अच्छा गाने आ गए तो इसका मतलब प्यार हुआ है.
हाँ.
So those were simple times. Audiences had time. They हाँ जाके AC में बैठेंगे 3 घंटे. अभी ट्रेन है 6 बजे. Today there is no time. Everyone is so busy. There's so much to see.
हाँ.
But the challenge is enormous for today's filmmakers. But on the plus side, there's opportunity.
हाँ.
For example, when I told Avnish, you're making a film. Okay, what is it about? You must have your own voice. He said, this is my voice, and that voice is so complex. So मैं पहले तो डरा, पर मुझे लगा नहीं, audience is so forthcoming. ये time नहीं था.
हाँ.
अब जैसे अवनीश ने ट्रेलर शुरू किया with राजवीर पलोमा सिंह, हम इतना रिजेक्शन से डरते क्यों हैं? इतना बुरा क्या हमें? ये this would have been a big edgy at that time because you can't start with rejection. You have to talk about how good
True.
you are. But I think that's the hope for them. So I think the world is opening up.
Awesome.
So I think it's a very good time.
Awesome. But also, like, now for the three of you, I want to ask you, I'll start with you. If there was a movie from the legacy that you come from, you would want to remake now, which one would that be?
So I don't think anyone should ever remake a Suraj Barjatia film. I think that is his point of view of the world, a very beautiful, serene point of view, graceful point of view, which no other director can remake. I feel that from a Rajshri film, a film that could really be remade, which would be great, would be Jeevan Mrityu, which is actually the first time that our families had collaborated together. So that I think would be a great film, if made well, of course, today. It's made by the great Satyan Bosab, but I think it could be, yes.
What lovely songs. You, if you could star in a movie of your mom, which one would that be?
I agree with Avnish. I don't think there can be any remakes. I think what mom's done has been iconic, and I don't think I can do
If you
what
could go
she's
back in
done.
time and there was a movie you would pick, which one would it be? Let's put it that way.
I've been in awe when I see mom on screen actually, but if I really probably, I think Savere Wali Gaadi was such a cute film.
Very sweet. Simple.
Yeah, I think maybe that. And yeah.
What about you? If you could go back in time and सारी पिक्चरें हैं, कौन सी पिकअप करोगे? एक.
As I won't repeat the answer again. I think it's a bad mistake, but again, I think Arjun.
Your dad is actually saying he wants an Arjun part 2, remake. So you could star in it, yeah? Let's just manifest.
Put it out in the universe.
Cast me.
Yeah, let's do that. Anyways, all the very best. आप तीनों को, picture का नाम दोनों को. I would say चारों को because I'm sure he's also nervous. But all the very best, and as I always say, it's always a pleasure to watch Rajshri films. All the very best, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you like this interview, please like, share and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.